Hi, I'm Dino Tripodis, and I almost did not graduate high school. Almost. But I did. In 1977. 45 years ago. Tonight, my best friend from high school and college, as we reminisce about the class of 1977. Tonight on Whiskey Business. I'm Dino Tripodis, and welcome to Whiskey Business, the podcast not so much about whiskey as it is one with whiskey. Everybody talks about the crazy 1960s, the decade of change, but the 1970s were pretty messed up as well. Yeah, I mean, you think about, for those of you who were around back then, there was a gas shortage. Gas prices were out of control. Inflation was crazy. Kind of like that. kind of like now. But it was the 1970s, and through 1974 to 1977, we didn't know what was going on, and we didn't care. We were in high school. We graduated in 1977, 45 years ago this year. Hard to believe our class reunion is coming up later this year, and we can't believe that we've ticked off 45 years. I mean, crazy stuff happened. We had a president resign from office in 1974 on our watch. Resign from office. Step down. Come on, crazy stuff. There's no crazy stuff in politics today. But it was in the 1970s. And tonight on Whiskey Business, I'm very happy to have my best friend from high school and college, and because there's some sort of contract that I'm obligated to call him my best friend still today as we speak, 45 years later.
You were really wasted when you signed that deal, didn't you? Probably debt more so than you.
Exactly. Greg Dettorre, who's been on the podcast before, but I don't remember how long.
I don't really keep track of that, 5 years, 3 months, 4 days, and 92 minutes ago. So ballpark, rough estimate. I'm thinking.
Because I remember saying, oh, that was great fun. We'll have to have you on again.
Yeah, and I've been waiting.
I actually looked it up. You were podcast number 8.
Are you serious?
And you were bottle number 8.
Was it the best year ever? Was that
it was the best year ever.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Was it your senior year of college?
We talked specifically about our senior year.
Well, what number is this? What podcast is this?
This is bottle. Bottle. So it's hard to tell. Yeah, this is our 198th bottle.
Wow, I've been waiting a long time.
We've had 190 different bottles.
I'll be in the home for the next one.
And before I let Hansberry get to the business, I'll go ahead, just since we're talking bottles, our guest bottle tonight, when you were on, see, this is what we're talking about tonight. When we were in high school, man, you were a smoker, you were a drinker, you were a partier, man. And now I can't get you to do anything.
I know.
So when we said, goes, I don't really want to drink whiskey, and I said I would make a highball.
A highball.
So on podcast number 8, we had Seagrams 7.
Right.
We made 7 7s American whiskey.
I remember.
And tonight, I figured I'd stay in the Seagrams family and go with Seagrams VO.
Was that like the step up?
The step up.
Wow.
This is the VO. The VO. What's the VO stand for?
I have no
Anybody?
idea.
Very good.
Very what?
Old?
Very own.
Very
Seagrams' very own Canadian whiskey, because they were fond of Canadian whiskey. So Seagrams made their very own Canadian whiskey. And Hansberry, since you developed quite the palate over the last 190 some bottles,
since last time
you like rye. You like rye whiskey. You'll pick up a.
All right.
This will remind you a little bit of rye. It's actually.
It is Canadian. It is Canadia's finest.
It is Canada's finest. It's not a bad whiskey, really. It's reasonably priced. It's a bottom shelf whiskey. It's like $22 to $23 a bottle. It's aged at least 6 years. It's a Canadian blend. Seagrams no longer exists. One of the other big distillers took them over. The name escapes me at the moment. Shame on me. But it is a blend of whiskeys, and it's got a. This one's not going to mess you up. I know. Hey, look, this
80
is the
proof.
We never have.
What can I mix with it?
just for debt. Debt, by the way, is my what we call
That's
him
my
since
name.
high school. Greg Dettorre, debt. We never have mixers on the
But
show.
for me,
but for you, the
thank
last time
you.
we had Seagram and 7,
Was
and this time I
on-
thought I'd class
on
it up
bottle 8.
and go Fresca.
I like it.
Fresca.
Those are hard to
Well,
come by
I
nowadays.
was saying, can you even find that?
I had to go back in time.
Is there still like Tab? Remember Tab?
There's,
Is
Tab
Tab still-
is gone.
Okay,
Tab
Tab's
is
gone,
gone.
but Fresca
but
survived.
Fresca survived.
Amazing.
So yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to pour for you because I
Okay.
don't want to be responsible. I
Okay,
want
I'm
to
gonna-
see.
here we go. Okay,
I want
let
to
me-
see how much you actually pour in there.
No,
Wow.
I'm kidding.
That's like half a splash.
Oh wow,
right there.
that's plenty.
That's
okay.
For you,
pour
yeah.
right
Are you
there.
kidding me?
Debt.
I don't want.
I'll call the
anything-
Uber now.
That has to be at least a half of an ounce.
you know me, I gotta fill
And
it
you
up.
got to
Okay,
fill
there
it
you
up to the top.
Now, do you switch it or is it just?
Would you like
blended?
to spike? Normally we don't.
No,
worry
I use
about
my
switching.
finger.
Stir with your finger.
I got a
No,
stir
good.
stick.
No,
Would
I'm
you like a
good.
stir stick?
Yeah, give me a stir.
There you go.
I feel like high school again.
There you go. There you go.
At the El Dorado.
Whenever we get together at Christmas time and watch movies, it's very specific. His beverage.
Yeah.
We have to get a large pepperoni pizza, and then it has to be a Diet Coke with ice.
Right.
And
fountain drink.
He has to have it. With, it can't just be a cold Diet Coke. It has to be a cold Diet Coke
With ice.
With ice.
Yes, and I don't use a straw. I don't like straws.
Yeah.
Okay, good for you.
I like to feel the ice on your mouth.
In your
like
nose.
this. Wow. No. Whoa.
I'm sorry.
So imagine
that.
that two very particular people. Wonder why you guys.
What are you
friends.
saying? Are you saying I'm
pretty,
particular?
You're pretty particular yourself.
You saying I'm particular?
You've reorganized your whiskey bottles like 4 times this winter.
Well, it was a pandemic.
I mean,
He was bored.
I was bored. At least I didn't alphabetize them, which I thought about. I did think about alphabetizing them. But debt. Can you believe it? This year, 45 years
I
ago,
don't
we
even
graduated from high school.
I don't even understand that math.
45 years
Yeah.
ago. 45 years have passed. When we were growing up, we knew people that died at 45. That when we were going to funerals of people, they were dead at 45. We've been out of high school for 45 years.
I don't even know how to comprehend that or get to wrap your mind around that. It doesn't even sound because we act the same. I mean, there's no maturity. I haven't matured.
No,
at all.
No, I would say out of all of us,
I'm the least mature.
You're
Thank
the
you.
least mature, and
Right.
I don't mean this in a disparaging way
I do.
whatsoever. You're the one that tries to hang on
Yes.
the longest
Yes. Yes.
to the days of old. It's
I really did.
I
It
know
was
you're
so
the one
fun.
that actually weeps, cries, pines.
Exactly.
I mean, I miss it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I pine.
You pine.
I pine.
But you pine. But life has to go on.
That's a
So,
dope.
so if you had to pick something from high school days that
Yeah.
doesn't exist on a daily basis today,
That does exist.
that
on a
doesn't
daily
exist on a
basis.
daily basis today from our high school years, that you wish that was still happening, that could still happen, and you can actually extend this from high school into college if you want, because we all went to high school together, we all went to college together.
Yeah, we just couldn't get rid of each
We
other. We really cut and
I mean, and especially him and Dave Kaplan, who actually that's why I also wanted Kaplan.
He
on this
refused.
pod. He refuses.
He refused to
he
do it.
refused.
He refuses.
He thinks he's going to say something to
what he else
screw his career.
He might.
He's a commercial realtor.
He said-
What are you going to say?
But no, he told me, what if I decide to run for office someday? What if I decide to run for office?
62, 63.
Well,
What are you talking
what are you gonna run
about?
for? That this podcast would get in the way of. I just-
Exactly, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
he's
don't bring it
afraid
up.
that he would say something. And you know what? to his credit, he probably
would.
He probably
We've
would.
all done
He
it.
probably would.
because he doesn't have a filter.
No filter.
Yeah,
but
no.
but so and then we just said, all right, then screw it. I'm just gonna have you on, and we finally
There.
found some time to do it. But yeah, if you could like pull something back from those days that we did on a regular basis that you wish you could still do. I know one thing off the top of my head, but I want to see if you got anything.
Because there's so many. Do you remember we'd go to the Wall? Remember the
Yes,
Wall?
the Wall.
It was like, so once you got to be, so there was, Sunset was like the main road going through town, and there was a McDonald's, and across the street there was a
This
church.
is in Steubenville.
In Steubenville, yeah.
Ohio. Yeah,
And
Steubenville, Big Red.
across the street there was a church, and the church just had this little yard, I guess, and it was a good size. And so the cool kids would hang out there, in the evenings and in the summer. And so, but once you're a junior, you could go there. And so we just hung out there, and it was like all summer, every night you'd be at the Wall.
Yeah, where would you meet? We'd meet at the
At
Wall.
You'd walk across the street, get McDonald's, you sit at the Wall.
Sit at the Wall.
And we didn't leave the place trashed.
No,
We're very respectful.
We were very respectful of the church, and otherwise they wouldn't have put up with it.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was a place where everybody would congregate. There'd always be some sort of drama going on.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
At
Oh,
the
yeah.
Wall. Somebody, boyfriends and girlfriends would meet there. Guys would meet there like us just to hang out. There'd be fights that happened at
Yeah.
the Wall from time to time. Meet you at the Wall.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
Your evening would start at the Wall. Your evening might finish at the Wall.
Right.
Before it was all said and done. As you cruised up and down Sunset Boulevard trying to
Right.
figure out what to do.
It was something to do. It
with
was a
3-2 beer in the back seat and,
Yep.
and a pocket full of what are we going to do?
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it was great.
It was great.
It's very American Graffiti feeling
Yes.
vibe, but 10
in a
years
small
later,
town,
20
that was
years
like
later.
the thing to do, and it didn't even like in your mind to do anything else. You weren't like you didn't find it boring or just it was like the thing to do.
Yeah.
So.
On the last podcast, we talked specifically. Okay,
No, I think everybody did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like
Everybody
like
had
every
everybody had their
ultimate,
wall.
high
everybody had their
high school,
wall.
junior, senior high
Yeah.
school thing to do.
I remember in the last podcast we talked specifically about the best year ever, which was when we were in college,
1979.
1979.
That I won't get into it, but since Mr. Hollywood over here won't help me with my screenplay, but the best the best title for a movie ever,
Yeah.
Our Year.
Our Year.
So
Our Year.
That's my.
I still have my
that's
notes.
I've got mine
I
too.
still have my
Someday,
notes.
you and your projects,
He gets
do your projects,
so
hang out with your Hollywood crowd,
He gets
Yeah.
he gets-
and
he
not
gets
your
like-
best friend.
He gets so mad. What are you doing? I'm working on a script. Oh, another one.
Okay, well, I guess I'll put
Another-
mine back in the drawer.
Another one. Oh, what are you doing?
I guess Our Year will wait another year.
We're
What's
shooting.
another year?
We're
for our
shooting-
year?
we're
It's another
shooting-
year.
Maybe.
So this is what I hate. We know each other. So that was a reference to Diner.
That was a
the
reference
movie
to
Diner.
Diner.
Where he goes,
I
maybe.
dinered him.
Yeah, he
Yeah, you'll
dinered
hear a
me.
lot of that. That's our favorite
He
movie.
dinered me.
But seriously, maybe I would be more inclined to do something with you if you would actually watch something that I've done over the last 20 years.
I've watched.
What have
things
you
you've done.
watched?
You never invite me.
What have you watched?
You just invite your Hollywood friends.
I live in Columbus. I don't have Hollywood.
Oh, I know you're Hollywood. I listen to the podcast where you're talking about your favorite
You
movie.
don't listen
you
to
never
the
asked me
podcast.
my favorite movies.
You don't ask. I know what your
Yeah.
favorite movies are. Jesus
And I tell you what, and it isn't Citizen Kane.
No, it isn't Citizen Kane. It isn't Citizen Kane. You love Diner. You love The Godfather.
What else?
You like To Kill a Mockingbird.
My favorite movie.
There
yeah.
you go. See, I know
And
you.
The Natural. I
And
like
The
these
Natural.
does. The
Okay.
Godfather,
The-
The
like
Natural,
the-
The Verdict.
The To Kill a Mockingbird.
That's good.
The diner.
Anyway, I got sidetracked, so we'll get back to your Hollywood people later.
Yeah, but I'm
but
saying if you would actually have watched some of the things that I've done over the years. I mean, you used to come to see me do stand up.
I
were great
worshipped
about
your stand up.
You were
I
great.
saw you all the time.
You were funny. You
I
did
was-
stand up.
That was a long time ago.
You were
and
funny.
and then so we would we kind of start off, and Dina would say, "Hey," he'd call me and he'd say, "Hey, I'm going to the comedy club tonight. You want to go?" And I'm like, "I gotta get up at 6 a.m. and work." He's like, "Well, we can't get on till midnight." I'm like, "I'm out,"
Yeah.
because I had a real job. But
Oh.
But anyway,
He was the more responsible.
Didn't you open the night by saying you're the
I
most
could never-
juvenile one?
Yeah, yeah.
the most responsible, the most juvenile.
Juvenile, exactly.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
like the
those are
unique
like-
combination.
It really was,
It
wasn't
really
it?
was.
Yeah.
You were a good student in high school. I was not. You were an athlete in high school.
An athlete. I
You were
played tennis.
You played tennis, but you were good.
I was okay.
You were good. You actually had like a ranking.
No, I was like the sixth man on the six-man team.
No,
but,
I thought you had.
No. Now band. No, I was a hell of a
you were in the
drummer.
band,
So I'll give myself that.
You were in the Big
Ohio
Red
State.
Band, and the Ohio State marching band, of course. But it had to start somewhere. You started at the Big Red Band.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Is this bothering you?
No,
already?
not at all.
No.
Not
You
at
used to smoke. Remember when you used to smoke?
No, that's my other nice memory. The El Dorado.
Right. The El Dorado was over the river when we
Nightclub.
would go to West Virginia with our
Weird.
fake IDs.
So it's a little crazier in West
I don't
Virginia.
remember where we got our fake IDs. Do you remember where we got our fake IDs?
I don't even think we had fake IDs. You
I
just
thought we
walked
had fake
in.
IDs.
No, I think you just walked in.
Did we?
I wasn't smart enough to get a fake ID. I don't even think I made them back then. What the hell? I don't even know.
So they just accepted
They
the
just
fact
let
that
us
we were
in.
18?
Yeah. Because what we did, like Friday.
But we were
So-
16.
No. No, that was Frank's. I'm talking about El Dorado our senior year.
Yeah, our senior year.
Yeah. So what we would do is so Friday night would be football games, and so these guys would wait for me because I was in the band, and so they had to wait for me.
We had to wait not only for him to finish band, but we also had to wait for him to finish with his girlfriend.
But
as
then-
well.
but then-
when those 3 minutes were done, then he finally got to us.
Then we would go to the El Dorado. We'd sit there, me, you, Cap,
Yep.
Ron
Parisi.
Parisi, and we'd sit and we were so cool. We'd smoke cigarettes and drink a couple beers.
And have some 7.7s.
Yep, and then go home.
and listen
it was
to the
great.
band, which
Yeah, they'd have entertainment. Yeah,
what Wild Cherry played there.
yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Wild
So-
Cherry played
Yeah,
there
yeah.
before they hit it big.
So this is a bar in West Virginia.
In
which
West
It
Right,
was
yeah.
probably
So,
long
yeah,
gone,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But that was just a cool.
Awesome.
We thought we were so cool,
So
and we
cool.
were for seniors. You know,
Were you the
Seniors?
only hot kids in your class that would like? They were
No,
cool enough to go.
no.
or
Well,
they-
I mean, I'm sure others did things, but we didn't hang out with them. I
Right.
don't know.
No,
I thought that was a cool thing.
We definitely, and this is why you're the perfect guest for this particular conversation 45 years ago, because, and I said this in the very first podcast I did with you 1,000 years ago. You
mean 5 years, 3 months, 4 days?
Yeah, you remember everything.
I do.
You remember everything. I don't even remember how we all came together as a group, because if you look at the personalities,
They don't work.
It would be like John Hughes, like a John Hughes movie as far as the casting.
Sure, yeah.
He puts the
Band jock.
He puts the band the band geek, the quiet but hysterical Jew.
And he would call himself that.
Yeah, he would call himself that. You got the hates everything Italian, Ron Parisi.
Yep.
He hated everything and everybody.
everything, yep.
Everybody. I don't even know why he liked us, to be honest with you. And it was me. And I don't know where I fit in. I kind of snuck in because you and Cap were friends. You guys went to grade school together too.
No. I didn't meet Dave until our sophomore year.
That's when I met you.
I know. Me, you, and Dave. We all kind of formed.
So, I thought you guys were went to high school together. I mean, grade school together.
No, huh? He went to Roosevelt. I went to McKinley.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't. And this you didn't
This
know.
I didn't know.
Huh.
Jeez. Yeah. No.
Yeah, you guys went to the nice elementary schools. I went to Grant.
Oh yeah, McKinley was real beautiful.
Yeah.
yeah, that was great.
I went to Grant Elementary Penitentiary. It did, seriously. It looked like a prison.
It did.
Looked like a prison.
It was bad. And even Harding, I didn't know you guys at Harding.
I didn't go to Harding.
Oh, that's right. You went to Grant.
I went to Grant.
Dave and I went to Harding. Okay.
I went to Grant.
And even our freshman year of high school, I didn't know you guys. Once our sophomore year.
What other mediocre presidents can we name a school after?
Exactly.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I went to. Were we all in Spanish class together?
We were in Spanish. Well, you and I were, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think Dave took Spanish.
What do you take? French?
I don't know.
Latin?
No, he wouldn't take Latin. I don't think he took any language. Did you have to take a language?
Yeah, I had to take a language. Yeah.
I still remember my first dialogue. ¿Estás usando en casa? Sí, está con una amiga. ¿Dónde está en la sala? No, en la cocina.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
I
know.
remember.
That's something I remember.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Yes,
And I remember
yes.
my favorite was, ¡ay! Una culebra.
¿Qué pones en esa cara, mami? Why are you putting on or placing that face? That's the one I remember. And everything else is for shit. I don't remember the rest of it.
That's it. That's it.
all.
And then we have to hope that if we ever go and have to speak, that those phrases come up. Otherwise, we have nothing to say.
Yeah. That'll be our rosebud. Hey, but it says a cut of money.
And Mrs. Safara.
Miss Safara.
Miss Safara.
She was attractive.
She was attractive. What was your Spanish name?
Gregorio.
Because mine was Gustavo.
Gustavo. I remember that.
Because I didn't. Some people called me Dino.
Yeah.
And some people called me Gus.
Sure.
Not Gust
Gus.
with a
No,
T.
it's Gus.
They dropped the T.
That's your name is Gus.
No, it's Gust with a
Oh,
T.
I know that, but
yeah, it was Gus. And every time when we call each other now, he'll pick up the Gus.
yeah.
It's still.
And I said that. I might have said this last
In
time.
fact,
But
when you call me Dino, it sounds weird.
yeah, I try not to.
Yeah, it sounds weird.
Because
Put him in
we
his
always
place.
said like people from Steubenville, we cut everything short. Like he's Gus, David is Cap.
God forbid.
Right.
Yeah, you
Put
can't
the
extra
T on
T.
there.
Yeah, you can't have two syllables. I'm
Well,
dead.
It's not two syllables. It's one. It's gust. Like a gust of wind.
It's
Nobody
technically
wanted to
it's
put
one
the
and a
T.
half.
It's
It's one and a
New York
quarter.
The T was so much.
It's one and a
The T was so difficult to
Pronouncing
add.
the T.
It's so difficult to add the T to my fucking name.
Sorry. And then there's Sparrow is Spee.
Spee.
The only one with two syllables, and I think I know why, is Kevin. You know Kevin Young.
Yeah.
And you know why?
No.
He's
I
from
don't.
Wintersville.
No, he's from Wintersville.
I think
He
that's
was
why.
from up the
He's
road.
from Wintersville, yeah.
In
So,
Wintersville.
So, yeah, I think that's why. So.
Yeah, and we called Ron by his.
Yeah, Ron was Ron.
Ron was Ron.
Ro.
Yeah.
Ron.
Ro.
No, we didn't call him
Ron.
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 Ron. It was Ron. Ron Parisi, and he'll listen to this podcast, so we're gonna
Hey, he's retired.
we're gonna throw a shout out to him. He'll definitely listen to this one.
Yeah.
Ron,
With his jacket.
with his jacket. No, you can go ahead and hit me. He had a jacket.
He wore this members only jacket. This thin jacket.
It was.
So he
It
wore
wasn't
like-
a members
like-
only. It was like a.
It was very lightweight like that.
No. It was a thick coat.
It was lightweight.
No, it wasn't lightweight.
Who
because
remembers things?
He remembered because the coat. He said nobody could hurt him when he was
I
wearing
know.
that coat.
That's the joke because it was so thin. I'm like, how can it not hurt?
Yeah.
He said, punch me. Go ahead, punch
Yeah,
me.
go ahead, punch me. Punch me. Hit me. You can't hurt me when I'm wearing this coat. You can't
so
hurt me.
Stupid. In that little red hat he'd wear, the
little fishing cap. Yeah.
He wore it everywhere.
Yeah. And
Oh God.
and he smoked and yeah. There we had all kind of we did have our own little clique in high school.
How big was your high school? Like how many kids?
It's
we had
funny.
the smallest.
Yeah, we had the smallest graduating class at the time, 186.
Yeah.
So
And the class,
500-600
the class
kids
in
your
front of
school.
us that graduated in '76, they had the largest class
Right.
ever. So it was almost like you went from boom, boom,
Boom,
So,
boom.
Yeah,
And
but
our-
we had a lot of smart people. I mean, they're all like doctors.
Yeah. Michael Kellis, who's still a good friend of ours and hangs out with us.
Mike
when we get
Ellis,
together for
Dr. Abernathy.
We've had him on the
We've had
show.
him on
Yep.
We've had him on the podcast.
Yep, Rhonda,
Rhonda
Dr.
Travelino,
Rhonda
Dr.
Travelino.
Medich, Doctor
Dr. Medich, Dr. Fahey.
Dr. Fahey.
I'm trying to think who else. That's plenty right there for a small
Yeah,
class.
yeah. You could have been a doctor.
Yeah, what do you do, Dad?
Yeah,
You
I couldn't hack
started-
the chemistry. I couldn't
you
hack
started
the chemistry.
with ophthalmology.
I hated
right?
chemistry. Yeah, I hated
Could have
chemistry.
been Dr.
I
Dettorre.
could have been somebody. I was nothing. Yeah, no, I
Dr.
couldn't do it.
Dettorre.
Couldn't do it.
And like I said, I barely got out of high school.
Yes,
true.
Yes,
I
you were
did.
kind of in college.
I was kind of. I attended.
You attended.
I always feel so. Where'd you go? I attended.
He attended
the Ohio
college,
State
yeah.
University.
He stayed on campus.
Yeah.
He did. He did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And I almost didn't go. I've told this on the podcast before. I almost didn't go to college because I was working in the mill.
Right. You
And
saw how miserable that
yeah,
was.
and then I got the.
But boy, they paid well back
they
then.
did, and I got 2 weeks in the blast furnace. I went, nope, going to college. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you ever? You never graduated. Did you graduate
From what?
OSU?
No, did not.
But you did.
I did.
And then, but you just still lived there all 4 years, regardless,
I
and
did.
you
Yeah.
lived with
Yeah.
these
Yep,
guys.
you lived with us,
whatever.
I did. Yeah. I attended.
I mean, has it ever crossed your mind to go back and try to finish, or would
No,
it just be
I
a
think I
lost
had
cause?
a glimmer of that at one point, and I'm like,
That's the point.
Yeah.
What, and I still think about it now. I mean, like what would it take to finish? Because I got like into my junior year, but yeah, I seriously, at one that was when it was back in quarters. We had quarters. Now they're semesters.
Right.
We had quarters. I almost had a Belushi grade point average. I had
0.0.
I did. I had a 0.09.
And we had that poster in our room. Remember,
College.
Dr.
Oh,
Blukowski,
yeah.
or Senator Blue.
You almost have to work just as hard to get that as you would,
Especially back then,
to get a decent grade point average.
Especially
and
back
that was
then
back
in
in the
State.
days where they had to take you.
They took
Yeah,
everybody.
oh, yeah.
They had to
They
take
took
you.
everybody, yeah.
If you were a resident of the state, you had
They pretty much took you.
They took you. So
Yeah.
and we went to Ohio State, and it was Cap, Det, myself, and our friend Bill Knoll. That's the only one who didn't make it. I mean,
Yeah,
he
well,
didn't die. We
didn't make it with us. We tormented him, and
we
he
made
left.
his life. Where's Bill Knoll? We're sorry.
I really am.
I really am sorry.
Looking back,
we
we
made
just,
his life miserable.
we really were
We
bad.
really
He
did.
will not be listening to this podcast.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He might.
I don't know. Yeah.
He might. I know. And
He works for the government.
He works
like
for the
some
government
sort of
doing
secret
some
department, which
sort-
we knew he
yeah.
always would.
Yeah.
He's monitoring our conversation
Yeah,
right now.
his
then.
father,
Absolutely.
His father worked.
Absolutely.
Was a former FBI agent. So yeah, he was in that world.
And he's the guy. Didn't you? This might be a high school story. I've been around Dino and heard the
Yeah.
stories long enough where you got caught cheating or something.
Oh no,
So-
that was the organization. Yes, we
so,
did get.
so,
we
yeah,
did
the
get
guy-
the
caught.
FBI dad,
Yeah.
the call
The
or
ICAS.
something.
Yeah, we got caught cheating.
The ICAS.
The
Let's give it
ICAS,
the
yes,
International
yes.
Cheating Association of Steubenville.
And even though just the quick story, so we got the answers to the test, and like idiots, we before the class we handed the answers out to everybody as they were walking into class, and so the whole class got
Aced
the
it.
same answer. The teacher somehow found out that we were behind it.
Or suspected.
Suspected. So he
we were
decided
behind
to
it.
visit one of our parents. If he would have visited your parent or my parent or Dave's, we'd have been screwed.
Done.
But he visited Mr. Knoll, who
The
was an
FBI
FBI agent.
Right.
And Mr. Knoll had this guy in tears almost.
Yeah.
And he left and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
We all got through it.
We got through it. Yeah, we had some really. Once again, all the work that went into cheating. If we would have put half of that,
Put like an hour
into studying, we would have gotten the same grade.
Exactly.
You make fun of me. I have a terrible speller, and it's because I spend more time coming up with ways to cheat my spelling test than actual studying the
Right,
damn
exactly.
words.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that was.
But that was the only one who had a girlfriend in high school.
Look at that, big boy. What's she doing now? Would she be at the high school reunion if you?
I've never run into her at the high school reunions.
Mm-mm.
And of course, the last one I went to was was that the 30? I'm trying the last one we went to. Remember when
I went to 10. I went to 20. I haven't been.
I think we went to
since.
30.
Oh, you're
I
right.
think you went to
30.
You went to 30.
Went to 30. Went to 10, 20, and 30.
30,
Have
and
not
that's the last
gone
one I went to. I didn't go to 40.
I didn't go to 40
because Gina was just starting at Notre Dame, so
Right.
I didn't go.
and it was on Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
And that was a tough weekend to go.
Yep.
And now 45 is coming up.
Is that going to happen?
In October, supposedly?
Is that like a for sure thing?
But from what I understand, it's going to be October 7th and 8th. October 7th, it starts with a football game. Big Red's playing, and there's a little party after the game, and then the actual reunion is on the 8th, which 45th reunion, small class, a couple tables at Applebee's ought to do it.
At El Dorado.
And as long as they have handicapped accessible parking, then we'll be fine.
That should be able to
Walking
cover
in
it.
there. Hey! Yeah.
Oh, wait, but I only ask this because my kids have started asking me about my high school girlfriends, which I think is just a funny scenario because
Yeah.
I've never talked to them about that. And I'm not hiding anything, but I've rarely even talked to my wife about my high school
right,
girlfriend.
yeah.
Do you think, are you friends, high school friends? Are you like Facebook friends with her?
No, I don't do Facebook.
No, I don't do Facebook either.
So you're like,
Yeah.
I don't do
No-
Facebook.
no
Isn't that
communication
funny?
with
her
Does
at all.
Cap do
Yeah, no.
Facebook?
No, I don't think so.
Isn't
Oh,
that
I don't
weird?
think Dave would do Facebook.
No,
No,
right. I don't
no.
do Facebook, and you don't do it.
No, my
Isn't
wife
that
does
weird
Facebook,
collectively that
but
we don't?
barely.
Right.
You know, she just puts some
I
things.
wonder if that's
but
right.
got anything to do with
I don't know.
anything. It's weird
I
that
don't
we
know.
none of us do it.
Well, I mean, that's like for old people now. Facebook, I guess, from what I
yeah,
hear.
I guess
like
so.
you know, like my son doesn't do it.
come on now.
He's like,
come on.
Yeah, you know.
Toss that
They
one
keep
right to
saying
the
I've
horse.
heard that for 10 years that Facebook is for old people, but every time somebody says anything, it's like
Facebook.
go
Yeah.
Facebook,
No,
go Facebook.
it'll always
Yeah.
be around.
It'll be around. But,
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, he was the only one that had a girlfriend
What a
in high
confusing-
school.
Yeah, but then when you got in college, I mean, you know,
When I got in college,
you're
things changed.
things changed a lot.
Oof.
Oofa. Oofa.
They changed a little bit. Yeah, I was just waiting. You know what the problem was, Greg? I wasn't appreciated in high school.
And they discovered you in college.
I wasn't appreciated.
Yeah.
My charms and sophistication were not totally appreciated in high school. But we were all well liked. But we were the guys that everybody liked to
hang out with.
Because we were funny. And we were
exactly.
We were funny. I got most humorous in high school. He got most talented, right? Because he was a hell of a drummer. Still is a hell of a drummer. So he got most talented. And I've said this. I think I said this on the podcast 1,000 years ago. Dave Kaplan, to me, still was the funniest guy in high school that nobody knew about.
Right.
That was funny because he would just in tears.
Yeah.
Still today, things will come out of that man's mouth, and I'll be gasping for breath. He's so funny.
Yeah.
And it's just it's not even the kind of, he doesn't even try to be
Right.
funny.
Right.
He just is.
Yeah.
He just is.
And then there's Spiro, who is like your best audience ever. He
Right.
he's just a laugher.
laugher,
Like
right.
it makes you feel good. You'll say something, he's like, I'm dead.
We all need one of those.
Yeah, he's great.
Who'd you have a crush on in high school?
Robin Sperry.
So, no, I had a crush on Robin Sperry.
Well, I did too. Everybody did.
I had a crush on Robin
All
Sperry.
right, I'm gonna start
Yeah.
looking these people up on Facebook.
Do you have a
It
crush
just
on
came
Robin
right
Sperry?
out. Robin Sperry.
Robin Sperry, me too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like found her trap. But we didn't have a big school, and there wasn't a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
But
I had a.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
I had a chance with Robin Sperry.
I remember that.
I blew it.
You blew it.
I blew it.
And then you had to wait till college.
I had to wait till college. I still didn't, not with Robin Sperry.
No, I just mean like
Yeah, right. But I used to go to Robin Sperry's house
as
and
time
watch
went on.
Beretta and Starsky and Hutch back to back. I had 2 hours once a week to make a move, and I never
And
did
you couldn't do
because she was Robin Sperry,
I know.
and it never sunk into my head like, wow, this girl actually. That's a guy. That's a guy. Well, and then again,
And, it's one of the things like I don't want to see the way people look now. I want to remember how they look.
Right.
Like it's.
and
like,
it didn't
I don't-
sink in. Like this girl says, "Are you coming over to watch Beretta and Starsky and Hutch every week?" It never struck me in my head like, "Wow, she may actually like me as more than a friend."
Right.
But
Well, we were.
I didn't.
What are you gonna do?
They didn't appreciate my.
Okay, we gotta appreciate
they didn't
it.
appreciate my charm and confidence in high school, and I didn't have the confidence. I didn't believe.
Well, yeah.
That was the big part of it.
That's the big thing for everyone.
Right, in high
At
school,
that
right?
age, yeah, that's just awful.
Right, and I remember dating and going out with a girl from JU, Jefferson Union.
Really?
I don't even remember how I met her.
Didn't we double date?
We did, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Is that Robin? I
Show
don't think
the
so.
picture. Show the camera there.
That doesn't look like
That's
Robin.
not Robin.
Chip.
No.
We're all like googling all the Robin Sperrys. What? Oh, okay.
that's
Yeah,
not Robin
yeah.
Sperry.
Well,
Yeah.
but not to mention she's probably got a different last
Oh,
name
sure.
Oh, yeah,
now.
she's Robin Miller.
Now,
Oh.
now we go. Robin Sperry Miller.
All right, yeah, because when I had a chance to ask her to when I was to like senior prom or junior prom, whatever it was, I didn't, and Hal Miller did, and they were together ever since.
Right.
She live in Ohio.
But didn't we
St.
double
Clairsville, I think.
date in one of the like
No,
one of the not a prom but a thing? I thought we double dated.
with the girl from JU.
No.
With who?
Didn't you take Paula?
I took Paula Saka.
Yeah, Paula Saka, and
Mm-hmm.
I took somebody. And I can't. What was her name? Gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Roseanne Chips.
No.
No.
Looked like Roseanne, but it wasn't Roseanne. She was like 2 years younger than us. Dark hair. Faith Gerges.
But yes.
Sounds like a
Nailed
name.
it.
Got it.
That's right.
The Gerg. Did you guys call her the Gerg?
No, I didn't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Look,
right.
don't think
Yeah,
you're
I don't know.
gonna
I'm
find
not
her.
gonna find
You
out.
know what? Probably like everybody else from that class, she's probably not on Facebook.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, Robin Sperry. Nice parents.
Let's.
The Sperrys.
I have a question. So my dad's a little. He's about to turn 70, so he's a little bit older than you guys, but he's been doing this like finding old friends on. Like they just went to their high school reunion.
Right.
Do you? I mean, as you get older, do you want to find Robin Sperry? I mean, I know you guys are still buds, but I mean, are those people? Is there anybody missing
It'd be
that you would
nice.
still
No, it'd be nice
like,
because
wanna
I'll
reach out
say
to?
this. This was like 2 years ago. Rhonda Travellino. It's not Travellino. She's God. What's her married name? I don't know. She lives in Pittsburgh. She's got to be. You talk about like I don't want to say somebody's perfect, but Rhonda was like attractive. She was valedictorian, smart, everybody liked her. Head cheerleader. She's a doctor.
Yeah.
She just
she was everything.
she's everything. She's a nice person in the world.
And had every opportunity in the world to be that stuck-up girl in high school. She could have been, but wasn't.
Yeah,
Mean girl.
And I grew up with her. I mean, like she lived like behind me, you know, on Pleasant Heights. It's not so pleasant anymore. But she's just the nicest person. Anyway, so she had a Christmas get together, and it's the first time I'd seen her in years. And I tell you,
like recently?
2 years ago,
Okay.
but before the pandemic.
COVID, okay.
Yeah, right on holidays, and we went to her house in Pittsburgh, and she ran up to me and hugged me like she's never. It was just she's so wonderful. So we saw her.
Yeah.
Mark Yoakum was there, who just recently passed away.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. We've had classmates that have passed here recently.
And Roseanne, was there. Roseanne Barca.
Roseanne Barca was another beauty.
Yep.
Another
And
beautiful
Medich
girl.
was there, and Lockett, Bobby Lockett was there, and the crowd. But just so I say no, but I like see. It's nice to see people you haven't seen in a while like that, because you still have that connection.
I think my dad's kind of doing the because he never really stayed in too much connection, but he's kind of longing to make those.
Yeah,
I
get it.
I get
it.
days. He's getting older. And,
Yeah.
But he had a blast. So I guess it would be his maybe 50th. He just had his 50th reunion.
Yeah. Wow. We're not far from
I keep
that.
in touch with Rick Andreessen.
You do?
Yes, I do. He's a big
That's
fan
right.
of this podcast, and I told him that you were coming on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
So he's very excited to see this when it drops
geez.
next week.
That's fine.
And he's the one. He's the one that's I think spearheading the 45th reunion.
Oh, wow.
And I got the direct message from Dr. Abernathy.
Okay.
Abernathy knows everything.
Oh, he does.
He's on top of everything.
He's amazing.
So we have to kind of pencil in those dates, October 7th and 8th.
I'll put him in. I guess I'll follow around with the recorder and just make a new podcast.
But who's Cheryl Cook?
Yeah.
Cheryl Cook. That when I think of the cheerleaders, the girls that that wore the cheerleading outfit
Beautifully.
and Cheryl Cook. I can remember Cheryl Cook, and she just had a walk in that cheerleading outfit that was just. I mean, you could put it to music. You could put it to music. It was just her gait, her walk,
gait.
No, seriously, man.
No, I understand. I get it.
I can remember.
I know. I was
how
there. I know.
She walked.
Yes.
When when they'd be doing pep rallies before the football game.
Yep.
And she also she chewed gum as well. And I remember that she
You found that a little hot.
well, because she did it in rhythm with everything else.
Right.
I mean, she didn't miss a beat. I mean,
Oral fixation.
Everything was very syncopated. She was very, very syncopated. Yeah, and also another nice girl.
Yeah.
Nice girl. But yeah, in high school, it was like, oh, you're so funny. I don't want to date you, but you're so funny.
funny.
Yeah.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah. That's how I started my radio career in high school, doing the morning announcements.
Yeah, you would do the morning announcements.
What did you think of that? Were they?
No, they were good.
Fun?
No, they were good. They were good.
I had a good sense of time. It's like
Yep.
one announcement, legit, two announcement, legit, third announcement, comedy comes in threes, not,
Right.
Yep.
joke, and then legit, and then joke. Yeah. And the
Yeah.
principal at the time, Mean Gene Watkins, who also has passed away,
Oh, wow.
I believe, he loved it. We called him Mean Gene because he was mean, but he loved me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Senior year, I used to duck into the Federal Terrace. Remember the Federal Terrace?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. And he'd be there having a drink, and I'd have a drink
Yeah.
with the principal.
Back when you could do that kind of stuff.
Isn't that crazy?
Back when you could do that.
I'd be a stool away from him, so it wouldn't look like I was actually drinking with
exactly.
the principal.
But
in theory.
He's like, "What you working on? Any material for Monday?"
Yeah. What do you got? What do you got?
what do you got for run it by me?
And I don't even remember how that started. How I don't remember. I don't know if anybody asked me if I volunteered.
Well, they always had somebody, because remember it used to be Bruce Grossman.
That's
who was-
right.
It
That's
was
right.
really bad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You can't lose with the stuff I use, because the stuff I use is Big Red Power. that was a shtick. It just came out of anyway. Yeah.
It must have worked. It stuck with you.
It did, So and it was really bad. It was really bad. So.
And I probably sat much like I did when I used to go watch open mics before I started doing stand-up, I probably sat in my desk at school going, I can do better than that. I can do better than that. How do I get this gig?
That's awful.
Yeah. It was funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, high school, man. What like?
What is it? And that's why it's like you always harken back, because then I'll look. Okay, so let's look the next 45 years. No, let's not.
Yeah.
Let's gonna go back.
Well, no. See what you did to the best of your abilities, and you did it rather well. I mean, you extended high school into college flawlessly.
Yes.
You know, I mean, if those 3 years in high school were great, you extended them into college.
Yes, we had. I've always said, I always feel back to my son, who's very smart. He was so focused. And I got to say, like, those high school and college years, I couldn't have had more fun. It's impossible. I couldn't have had more fun. I probably could have learned a little more, but you were just having fun.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned the wall. You wish we still had a wall.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that we could still do a Dognut.
Oh, we could.
We could, but
in theory,
the dog.
Oh, I remember this. I've been around this guy too long. I've heard all this one. Explain it though, because I could.
So the Dognut. So it's still there, Buckeye Donut, on High Street. It hasn't changed, right? So we were in college. I don't know how this started, but we would kind of be sitting there, and typically, every night we'd order a Domino's pizza. We'd watch, Johnny Carson, and then the Tomorrow Show with Tom Snyder. It'd be like 2 a.m, and once in a while we would call a Dognut. We always did it like very late, and what that means is like you would call, and typically Dino wouldn't be in the apartment. It wouldn't be in our dorm. He'd be at some broad, some woman, and we always had her number, and so the phone would ring, and he'd pick up, and we'd say, Dognut, and you'd hang up. And you didn't have a choice. If you called a Dognut, you had to show up at Buckeye Donut. You had to. There's no excuse.
No excuse.
And the great thing was like me and Cap were the only ones ever calling it. Everybody was so
you guys are the ones at home watching Johnny.
Yeah, but I mean, like everybody else, it never dawned on them to call it. Because like Pat, and all those guys,
right.
we'd call them. So we had probably like 6 to 8 guys, just show up at Buckeye Donut. So we'd call a Dognut, and It was a cool thing.
Oh,
so.
I remember.
And you would be like, and I'm sure you had to tell the girl, I'm sorry,
yeah,
I've got to go. I've got to go.
Could you hand me my pants?
You're joking, but that's true. That's true. Because
you don't have to go into detail.
No, I'm going to go into detail because this would be in the movie.
Oh, okay.
This would be in the movie.
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah.
Robin Sperry.
My girlfriend at the time, we had just finished.
Talking.
Yeah. No, not talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was talking.
And the phone rang, and it was her.
It was either me or Dave.
Yeah, and I picked it up, and it was like Dognut, and there I was, just done and naked, still breathing heavy, and like, gotta go. What? Go where? Dognut. What? A what?
A what?
A what? A Dognut. And I said, and no, she was not happy.
And I'm sure a lot of times they go, "Can I go?"
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Yeah, no,
It now gets worse. No.
You can't
go.
It can't.
You can't
So
go.
and then I was trying to explain it while I was putting my pants on. And so you're telling me that you can get a call anytime, 24 hours a day, and if they say Dognut, you have to go. And I'm going, yep.
That's the rules.
Yep.
Hey, I didn't make it up.
Yeah. And I was of the mindset at that point. I pissed those guys off so much over the course of college by not being available or not be, that was like the one thing
you could commit to
that I could commit
to.
Like, hey, we're gonna go here. Like, no, I can't go.
I can't go.
Or cell phones, so you don't have to know
Oh,
the
yeah.
landline.
Yeah, that landline number.
Yeah,
Oh,
we always
yeah,
do.
yeah,
We
yeah.
always had the number.
Yeah, always had.
Yeah, we always had the number.
I know, right? And then you answered it, and you answered it.
Yeah, like you would think you'd have the president of mind going. That can only be.
answer it,
There
don't
can
answer
only
it,
be-
don't answer it.
It can only be two things: either somebody died or it's a Dognut.
Let me calm down a little bit.
God, I hope somebody died.
That's funny.
That's what I would think. I hope somebody's dead.
I might get round 2 if somebody's dead.
Please let there be a death, because I can't leave now. I just can't.
Please Please let somebody be dead. Nobody important. But it's just like, oh, that's too bad. I'll call you tomorrow. Click. But a dog nut. Fuck.
Oh, it's an obligation.
Yeah.
So my question was, you all went to Ohio State. Was it a given senior year? I mean, because you didn't. Obviously, Dana, we already went over. You weren't aware. You weren't committed to going to Ohio State right away. You weren't going to go
No,
to college.
I decided late in this like almost a month before classes even started. I decided I was going to go.
But
Really?
had you
Yeah.
like already
Like July or
schemed
August,
a plan? You
To go to Ohio State?
Yeah,
Well-
with all your roommates,
it's
buddies
funny.
and friends.
So what
and
happened
everything.
was I remember I was going to go to Miami, and Dave, Dave always talked about Ohio State and his brother, Jeff Kaplan, who's on the board at Ohio State. Yes. So Dave always talked about Ohio State, and I'm like,
yeah, he drilled it into us.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go. And I heard they got a good band, so I didn't know.
Right, right,
so
right.
I went, okay, I guess I'll go to Ohio State. So because Dave was going, so that's the only reason I went to Ohio State.
And so
My-
he kind
my
of
buddy was
recruited you a
going.
little bit.
Yeah, and then then you and I went that one weekend
We
to
did.
visit.
We did the preview weekend
Yeah, the
or whatever.
preview
I
weekend.
don't know what it was called. It was orientation.
It was
Right,
orientation.
orientation,
weekend. Yeah,
orientation.
yeah. And we thought it was cool because that night they showed Young Frankenstein
Yep.
and they served beer.
Right.
And I'm like,
Oh
oh,
my
man,
God,
did
look
I
at
pick
these
the right
nuts.
place?
Yeah, we were like, this is gonna
Yes,
be great.
that's great.
And we lived in Taylor Tower.
Tower.
So we were,
Dave got us. Dave's brother.
Yeah,
Mallow
'cause
Dave's
Taylor
brother
Tower-
got us in there 'cause that was hard to get in.
Taylor Tower was a tough dorm to get into. They had an honors floor. We weren't on that.
No,
one.
we weren't on
We
that
weren't on that one.
But we
the-
tormented the honors
we,
floor.
we did torment the honors floor. We were on
Yeah.
the 6th floor Taylor Tower. 6th
Floor,
floor Taylor Tower.
God.
What
All we
a place
do
to
is
scream and holler. 6th floor Taylor Tower. Best fucking floor in the dorm.
That was Dino's song. That was the song he.
I could just picture you guys climbing up all 6 floors of the stairs singing that.
Oh yeah, we did a lot of stupid stuff our freshman.
But
We
that
did it
was,
our freshman and sophomore year, and it was kind of for the time we had our own bathroom. We didn't have a
Yeah,
shared.
four
we-
guys shared
we
it,
had
but,
4
yeah.
guys sharing one bathroom, but that was better than
Yeah.
going to some communal
Yeah.
shower
Sure.
facility.
And heck, half the time you weren't there anyway.
Yeah,
So
right, so it was like 3
Like
guys.
3 of us, yeah.
But
So-
didn't
guys.
you pay for it? Because didn't at some point you live in a place where you had to go through a bathroom
Oh
to
yeah, I
get
told
to
that
a
story.
bedroom?
I
Yeah,
told that
yeah.
story on the air.
88
actually.
East State. That's the premise of our year, 1979.
Yeah, right.
The
So you had
greatest
to
year
go
that we've ever
through-
had.
No, you had to walk.
bathroom.
In order for me to go to my room, and I think
In-
to your room,
Yeah.
you were further back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to go. You had to go through the
The-
side by side urinals that had no divider, and
There are 2 toilets right next to each other.
2 toilets right
And
next
2
to each
showers
other.
right next to each other.
And Cap, and this, like I said, I'm very close to this man. I love him to death. But Cap and Det were even closer in college. They're almost
We have
like
conversations.
Well, I know, but it'd be like you're how you guys would take shits at the same time.
Well, not always.
No,
it's not
but
like
a
we
lot.
planned it. it's
Often.
not like we planned it
Often,
or anything.
you guys would take it like I gotta yeah.
John's off camera going, no.
Yeah, like no, they would. I'd have to walk through, and they'd be sitting there, talking and taking shits.
Yeah,
And,
we
like,
were
and
young.
I would shake my head. And I would I don't get it. It's like not so much that you guys actually took them together. Like, how did that sync up? It's like your menstrual cycles are.
Well, I mean, you know me. I'm quite regular.
You're very
So,
regular.
you know,
Nobody knows. You're.
I'm beyond regular.
Yeah.
I could eat block cheese and go.
Nobody poops like this guy.
No,
How
nobody.
many times?
What's
how
your
many-
secret?
Still, how many
I would
times-
say.
How many times a day you poop?
I would say on average 3 times.
Wow.
Average. That's
A day.
average. That's average.
A day.
Yes.
Average.
But they got to be like light and clean and quick if you're doing it that often. Oh, wow. No.
No. It's crazy. That's
I don't know. And it's not like I'm a big
Yikes.
eater. I'm very regular.
very regular.
Anyway.
Very regular.
Yes, very regular.
And it
But,
would
uh,
bother
for
him. It would
office.
bother him that I wasn't. There'd be times.
Oh, it really bothered me.
If I would, I would
I still hear
It
about his
really
bathroom.
bothers me.
skip a day. And
Oh, I'm like, how do you live?
I think today at work, Dino's like, I'm off a little bit because I don't think I pooped yesterday.
Oh, I'd be suicidal.
I don't think twice about it, but I compare myself to him.
Oh.
I compare my colon to his colon.
Oh,
And,
there's no comparison.
No. It's like it's too high of a level to attain.
Oh God. Speaking of when we're talking about Young Frankenstein, just real quick story. So,
Speaking of shitting 3 times a day, how does that connect to Young Frankenstein?
because it's stuck in my mind. It's stuck in my mind because I love it so much. Because talk about funny. Well, let me real quick.
All right.
And you'll probably say Woody Allen movie or something like that. So, what's like your favorite comedies? Just off the top of your head.
Mel Brooks comedies are some of my favorites.
Okay, I was gonna say like Young Frankenstein,
Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, Arthur. I think Arthur's funny.
Arthur's funny.
What else was I thinking? Oh, and Austin Powers.
Those are your favorites.
Because they're. But I think there's my
Because they're
favorites that come to
silly.
mind. Yes, which leads to my point. So this is years ago. My son, I was trying to teach him what good movies are, and so I made him watch Young Frankenstein with me.
You didn't care
And
for it.
so we get like about a third of the way through, and I pause it, and I said, "Is this?
Tell me
funny?
how awesome this is.
Is this funny?" And he went, "I guess, but it's so stupid." And I went, "Exactly. You got it." So then we continued. So
Yeah, he's the worst person in the world to go to a funny movie with in the theater. In the theater.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I hit.
He
I
hits.
like.
That's so funny. Knock him on the
I
side.
I'm like.
He's godly. I'm like, yeah. It's
Yeah,
funny,
I got
funny,
it, Dad. It's funny.
I'm laughing too.
It's great.
I have to hit.
You like Woody Allen movies?
I
You
know,
like
but
Woody
I know,
Allen.
but
You
that's
like-
like the intellectual comedies.
No. You
Yeah,
loved his silly movies.
Yeah, I do like the silly.
You like the
movies.
silly ones.
Like Sleeper was funny.
Sleeper, everything you want to know about
you kind of have
sex.
a Woody Allen.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I have the look.
He's got the
Yeah,
look.
yeah. The Dago looks like a Jew. I know.
You do, right? Yeah, I keep forgetting you're Italian.
Yep. Yeah. No, I wouldn't say. Hey, I like you. Can't insult me. I'm uninsultable. That's not even a word. Is what now?
No,
No,
that's the one. Okay. You do have you say that I'm the snooty one.
Yes.
And you're Hollywood types.
Yes, you're
but
Hollywood types.
You are actually very biased when it comes right down to it.
To what?
You're the one that cops an attitude about anything that has
About
any
what?
type of artistic merit.
Like what?
Like, well, he just said Manhattan. You went, yeah.
No. I mean, it was-
Woody Allen, it's in black and white. I'm doing you.
That's true. That's a good me.
That's you. Oh yeah. Oh, why is it good? Because it's not in color. Is the way it's filmed trying to evoke some sort of emotion? I've never seen anybody use air quotes more than
I do.
you.
I do a lot of that. I do really do a lot of that.
But we have our favorite movie, Diner.
Yes.
Diner.
Yeah, Diner's-
If you and I had 2 favorite movies, I think I know what they are.
Okay.
Diner.
Yes.
And My Favorite Year.
Yes.
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 Yes. Which is funny that
I forgot about My Favorite Year,
The
yes.
title of that movie is My Favorite Year, and we talk about our favorite years.
year.
But that My Favorite Year with Peter O'Toole
Yeah.
and the guy that was in Perfect Strangers.
Yeah.
Balky's cousin, the other one.
Larry?
No, Mark something. Mark.
I don't remember his name.
Name escapes me.
Yeah.
But
loosely based on what Sid Caesar's your show
right, yeah.
shows
Takes
and
place in
and
1950s.
Woody
Yeah,
Allen was one of the writers
right,
and
yeah.
yeah. And supposedly
Basically-
Sid Caesar was like this kind of he was funny but he's like a tough guy. And
No, it wasn't Sid Caesar. It was the guy that it wasn't Sid Caesar. It was Joe Bologna.
no, I'm saying it was based on
based on-
So
on-
it's like
Sid
a
Caesar,
30
yes.
Rocker type of.
Yeah, it's back at your show of shows.
Yeah.
That type of show, live show. And
Yeah,
Peter O'Toole's
it's
this great
hysterical.
English actor, Mark Lynn Baker.
Thank you. Yeah, Mark Lynn Baker.
Yeah.
So I love that. Love
Great
that
movie.
Yeah.
Great
That's a
movie.
great
You've never
movie.
seen it?
No.
Oh,
you
my
would love
gosh,
it. You
yes.
would love it.
I'm gonna look.
You've never
it up.
seen My Favorite Year with Peter
Oh
O'Toole?
yeah, you gotta.
Oh my God, Peter
It's,
O'Toole, just this drunken English actor who decides to do this TV show mainly for the money. His career is kind of on the downside.
downside.
He's a swashbuckler, kind of an Errol Flynn type, and just some great moments when
Yeah.
he's drunk and peeing in the women's room. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite. Richard Benjamin, yes.
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
yeah,
that's
Richard
right.
Benjamin directed that. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
This is for ladies only. He's in the women's room peeing. He goes, so is this, madam, but from time to time I like to run some water
Through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
And she
That's a
goes.
great line.
Okay, all right.
Star Wars. I'm just kind of looking through.
1977 movies. Yeah,
Star Wars.
That's right. The movies that we went to in high school. In high school, Star Wars. That was huge. Star Wars. We went to Star Wars. Jaws.
Saturday
Johnson
Night
something.
Fever.
Saturday Night Fever. Now that was when we were freshmen at Ohio State. I remember when that hit.
Okay, so late '77.
Yeah. I
But
remember
still,
that
like
was
you know,
like-
to set the scene of your college
absolutely, yeah.
life. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
The Saturday Night Fever soundtrack was
Oh,
playing in every
for
dorm
sure.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley dies.
Right.
Right.
And then a couple years
R.I.P.
later, everybody had the Wall album. Michael Jackson, The Wall.
Right.
Remember that? The Wall album.
The
Michael
wall.
Jackson.
Off the wall.
Off the
the
Wall.
Wall.
Sorry,
Off
yeah.
the
We
Wall.
just called the Wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the Wall.
Pink Floyd is the wall.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
In
Off the Wall.
1977, you could buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath family room for $33,000.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
Average income per year $15,000.
Huh.
65 cents for average cost of gallon of gas.
Wow.
I remember that. I remember in my youth.
No, you don't remember 1977. You weren't born yet.
I mean, I remember it going like hovering from like 99 cents. Like I remember in my youth always watching. It was like
Kind of
98,
hovered
99,
to break the dollar
and then,
mark.
Yeah, so this was probably like 80, not like early 1990, early 89. But I always remember being that like a moment in my life. I was like, it used to be 99 fucking
Yeah,
cents.
and you think about back then, it's like, we always had enough money. Always had just enough.
Yeah.
Whatever we wanted to do, somehow we had enough money to get it done. Whether it was to put gas in the car, to get a pizza we got a pizza every night. Every night. And those watered down Cokes from Domino's.
Yeah,
no offense.
but it's
1974.
you'd order a large pizza and they gave you 4 free Cokes. We were like, 4 free Cokes. They were just watered. They were miserable, but you didn't
free.
care. Yeah.
We did that at
Free.
Dayton. It was Cousin Vinny's, same thing.
Yeah.
You had these go. Hold on, let me just do a speed round of some of the
man, go
movies
ahead.
real quick.
Go.
Rocky.
Oh,
Remember we did a little film
with Doug Hale.
with Doug Hale. I did.
Yeah.
I played Rocky. We did a little parody.
Doug
on
was
Rocky.
in like film school at Ohio
Yeah,
State.
yeah.
and and so he would have us do it in some of his
Right.
things.
Yeah,
with him.
we did a parody
Yeah.
on Rocky.
Smokey and the Bandit. The second A Star Is Born with Barbara
Yeah, not a big
Streisand.
fan.
and,
We didn't
Not a
go
fan.
that way. We didn't rush out to that.
we
one.
didn't rush out to that.
Saturday Night Fever, King Kong. I don't remember
Yeah.
the 70 King
I
Kong.
guess.
The Deep, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yes, we saw that one. 'Cause
Yeah.
anything that Steven Spielberg put out, we went to.
Sure. And then Annie Hall was is
Yep.
your.
Annie Hall, you liked Annie Hall.
I liked Annie Hall.
You liked Annie Hall. That's probably as close to comedic and artistic as you'll ever get to a Woody Allen film for you.
Yes. It was really borderline.
Yeah, it was
on
borderline.
not too long ago. I was watching a little bit.
Christopher Walken.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was great, Christopher
Walken is in
it
that
really
one. Yeah.
was.
Yeah, that he had like one really good scene
Yeah.
in that movie, and
Where
Woody
he's-
Allen's like,
Yeah,
car
he
with
says, sometimes when I'm driving, I just want to steer into the headlights. And
Yeah.
then he's driving to the airport.
Yeah.
And Woody Allen's like,
Popular musicians of 1977: Rod Stewart, Stevie Wonder,
Stevie Wonder,
Stevie.
Songs in the Key of Life, huge
Stevie.
album, double album.
Hotel California, the
Yep.
Eagles.
Still a big album.
Well, yeah,
today
they're coming
we talked
to
about
town.
that
We just
today.
talked about that. The Bee Gees we mentioned, Fleetwood
oh,
Mac,
I never had that. Yeah.
Wings, and I don't know this Hot Chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
Hot chocolate.
What did they have? What was the song?
It just says Hot Chocolate is a popular musician, or is that a
I'm
song?
trying to think.
They're a soul group. They're a film group.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Popular TV shows: Little House on the Prairie,
Nope.
No, I didn't watch that.
Happy Days,
Yep.
all in the
Watched that a little
Family,
in high school.
Little bit.
A little bit.
Until it got
Charlie's
silly.
Angels.
Charlie's Angels we watched because
A little bit. But,
Sanford and Sons.
Mostly we watched like
Late
just the
night?
Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Like-
college, but in
Yeah,
high
in
school.
college. Yeah, in high school.
yeah.
Yeah, in high school. Yeah, you're
You
right.
know what?
Rhoda, Three's Company, Love Boat, Barney Miller.
Yeah, you know what?
Barney Miller, yeah.
I still love Barney Miller. You know what happened in high school for us, as far as comedy?
Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live, and we discovered Monty Python.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Monty Python's Flying Circus.
I remember watching like,
yes. Yes.
Mrs. Pendergast just blew up. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Saturday Night Live was like You know,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that was like
That's the one thing. And in
Things
the
would
college, yeah, you were in front of the TV.
things would stop. Even in high school too.
Yes,
things would
yes.
stop. Whatever we were doing Saturday
Yep.
night, where are we gonna go? Where are we going to watch Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, you
And
would
we
always
that,
watch it, yeah.
and-
Yep.
When was that? Like 73?
So no, 75, wasn't it?
Murray and Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase, Gilda Radner.
Yep. Yeah, Chevy was only there that 1 year.
Yeah, the first year, the one
Yeah.
year and only year. John Belushi,
Garrett
Garrett
Morris
Morris,
was there for a
Jane
while.
Curtin.
And then Bill
Dan
Murray came
Aykroyd.
the second year, I
Bill
think.
Murray came around, yeah. But that was like,
Yeah.
and,
That was a big
and-
deal.
And also we watched Benny Hill. I remember Benny Hill.
It was really stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot to choose from, but
No, we
that
did
was
not
good
have
stuff,
that,
though.
But we stayed entertained.
Whose house was who, you know, like Dave was my buddy.
Dina's.
We always went to the house.
My house.
Yeah,
Because
so
his
everybody
mom
would show
was-
up their
his
house.
mom-
Not a whole lot's changed.
Yeah.
Everybody's over here
yeah.
now, and even then, yeah.
His mom was cool, and we would always go there. We always were there.
Yeah, my mom actually liked us there.
Yeah.
Liked having us there.
Yeah. And we just hung out. We didn't like
yeah.
really. We just
She
hung
let
out.
us drink. You know?
Yeah, but it's more, we'd have a
Yeah,
beer, but it
beer.
wasn't like we were
Yeah.
like pounding them or anything. We
No.
just
And
we just hung out.
3-2 beer was
we had
legal,
3-2 beer.
right?
Yeah.
3-2 beer was legal.
What, did your sister live with you at the time or
Oh,
not?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have the hots for his sister?
It's one of those things where, like, no, because it was this. I mean, obviously she's beautiful. And she hasn't aged a day.
No,
I don't
no,
know
my sister is a
how she
beautiful
does.
girl,
She's
yeah.
a beautiful woman, but no, because it was
No.
Dino's sister.
all right,
so
I'm just
yeah,
curious.
yeah. No, but I mean, I see why you would think that because who wouldn't?
Well,
But
I'm just curious because she didn't live with you for a minute. She was older than you, right?
No.
No.
younger.
I was
younger.
2
No.
years
When I
younger,
was a
right?
senior, my sister was a freshman.
Oh,
there
freshman.
you
I think
Oh,
so.
I didn't know
Freshman
that.
or sophomore.
Where did she go to? Did she go to OSU? Or
She
did
went to OSU as well.
Was there any of that
I don't-
freshman, senior?
I don't
you know,
remember. You know what? I don't remember her.
I don't either. Wait a minute. Was she at Ohio State when you were there? When we were there?
That's the rumor.
How do I? No, that's bizarre because I don't remember
Nothing.
any of that.
None of that. Me either. It's almost like okay, my sister's here, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember going to her room.
I
Is there a
know.
dorm room? Nothing.
You were a
No.
horrible brother then.
No, you know what? I think I
Well,
do think that by the time she came to Ohio State is when I was
Yeah, you were kind of.
I was
yeah.
exiting
Yeah,
and,
no, I get
and
it.
getting
You
into
did
the
other things.
into the world. You know, I was
Yes,
working,
yes.
so I really wasn't.
No, I get it.
We weren't on campus. We were in
Yeah.
88 East 8th Avenue,
Which doesn't exist anymore.
Which doesn't exist anymore, but at the time was the greatest. We thought the greatest apartment in the world. It was huge.
It was a house.
It was a house. It had no insulation, and we had $650 gas bills.
It was great. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's
No.
1977.
It was 88 East 8th. It was a house. So after our first 2 years, that like spring when you go look for the next year, entering our junior year, I can't remember if I found it or Dave, whoever, but I found this house and we're walking through it and I'm like, this is great. It's all brick. It's got green shag carpeting. Drop ceilings. There's a fireplace in every room. Upstairs, there's a fireplace. I'm like,
Fireplace in every
this
room.
place is for us. And so there was me and you, Dave, Speed, and Sam Ikovich.
We had five.
5 of us. And so we figured out how we would afford it. And so we had the greatest time in that house. We had parties and stuff until winter hit. And then we learned that the drop ceilings, if you put your hand there, you felt the cold wind. There was no insulation because the brick there was no insulation.
None.
And you were freezing. So the fireplaces were letting in all the cold air. And it was an old house, you know. We didn't know. We were young and stupid. We froze.
We would light everything possible in
Yeah,
the fireplace
would-
to get warm.
everything possible.
And still had between $400 and $600 gas.
It was
bills.
crazy. It was
Back then,
just
it's
it was
crazy.
crazy. It was crazy. Yeah.
It was nuts.
Crazy
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
nuts.
So but it was.
But
yeah.
but
we
would
had
go to the
we had
grocery store together. We would all go to the grocery store and do all
which
our
is
shopping.
weird because like still to this day I don't mind going to the grocery
me either.
store.
Me either. I think it's
and I
because
think it's
of
because of
that.
that because
I think
we
it's 'cause of
there
that.
were like 5 of us and we each had a cart. We were like throwing shit in there, you know. And then she would go to ring it up and I would have like a calculator. I'd be like, okay, guys, and we'd write like 5 checks, you know. So I'd divide it up, you know, and
And then we would pay Spiro for
yeah.
our meat.
Yeah.
Because Spiro's dad had a restaurant in Steubenville, so we would get our meat.
Nice.
I mean, we had some
we had
sort of
steak and hamburger every night
every night at least.
because
Yeah.
his dad owned a restaurant.
We
So
ate, we ate like kings.
yeah.
We ate like kings. But you're right. I think it's because of that.
that-
I don't
that-
mind going to the grocery store.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind going to the grocery store at all.
Was it like the Big Bear on Lane Avenue?
Yes.
It was.
Yeah,
It
remember it was
was.
like the skating was uneven, and it was like,
Love that one. I
yeah,
was there when my
yeah,
freshman year.
yeah.
Okay, so now.
No, I can't get past the year 45. But you're like one. We're still. We've got 44 more years to go,
I know,
people.
we're not, I'm going to zoom ahead to now.
Okay,
I'm going to
good.
zoom ahead to now. 'Cause
Thank
believe it or
you.
not, we've already been talking over an hour.
I
already.
believe it.
Over an hour.
I know. It's sorry.
So no.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. So here we are now.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
Yeah. You're
Heading into our golden years.
You're always the one.
I'm good.
You're always the one. You turn the
This is
oldest
really-
first. You
this
have
is
the
really
first
gross, by the
birthday.
way.
Yes,
You
I have the
you're
first
December
birthday.
26th.
Yep.
So you turn
Worst
63
day for a birthday.
first. You're already 63. I'll be 63 this month. But you're always the first one to
Yes,
turn.
to turn.
Right. So at 63, how do you feel? And what do you wish you had back?
I feel
And what's changed the most about you?
it's weird. So like when you go through these stages, right? So when I'll go back like I'm gonna say 15 years when I was
Okay.
at Sprint, I was like in like my 40s kind of thing, and everybody was like the same age I was working with, right? And then like the world came in, I got downsized, and so I had a nice package, so I was off a year basically looking for a job.
Nice package. It's a
That's what she
15
said.
years ago, I had a nice package.
Now, not so
anymore.
much.
Not so much.
But then I started a Cardinal, and then when I started a Cardinal, all of a sudden, like I'm the old guy. I mean, it happened like that, and that was really a hard adjustment. I'm used to it now. I mean, it's like I'll be on a Zoom call, and I look around, I'm like, yeah, I'm the oldest guy on the call. It's like my thing is like everybody I work with is between like 35 and 40, and they have 2 kids. That's like everybody.
That's me.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, everybody I work with. So it doesn't bother me as much. So I'm kind of used to it. So, but I mean, I feel good. I act the same.
You do act the same.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just like little things like like arthritis in my hand
got arthritis.
hurts.
Yeah.
I pee every 2 hours.
You got prostate issues,
I'm
sure.
constantly up. And,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
bothers me.
Yeah.
Other than
Did
that,
you ever think in a million years back then,
Yeah,
in college,
dude.
and even in our 30s, that you'd be riddled with arthritis and have prostate issues?
No,
What?
no, what are you talking
No,
about?
that's stuff old people get.
That's exactly.
And we are old people. But
Exactly.
that's the thing. I don't think of myself, and maybe it's an immature quality. I
Right.
feel some of the things that come with age.
Right.
They're obvious. I mean,
Right, yeah.
I have a brace on my knee right now because this one's
Yeah.
just riddled with arthritis.
Yeah.
And I have to go. I went to see a doctor about it, but I don't feel.
Yeah, it's like as long as I don't see a mirror, I'm cool. I look in the mirror and I'm used to the no hair, but it's like still white, and then you got this little thing right here, and I'm like, gosh, I'm not that attractive. So I better depend on my personality.
Yeah,
So-
no, trust me. You worked off your personality for a lot of years. You were.
Well, have you seen my wife? Of course I did.
You're never really attractive.
No, that is true because in college I looked like Weird Al Yankovic. I did.
He
Curly
did.
hair.
Curly hair, I had a cheesy mustache.
And yet, you always had a girlfriend.
Yeah, but
Always had a girlfriend.
We all every once in a while squirrel finds
Always
and
had
that.
a
But
girlfriend.
you were good looking. Dave looked like James Caan
At the time, yeah.
Charlie looked
there
like
you go.
Charlie looked like Sylvester Stallone.
He did. Yep.
Speed was handsome.
Yep.
So see, I think I got it by association. I think women thought
You were handsome
there's
by
gotta
We
be
can attain
by
this guy.
something about this guy.
If he's hanging
Right.
out with all the handsome guys, he's got to have
got
something.
something. I'm not seeing it yet, but I'll hang around a little bit longer.
And you're right. And Janet's beautiful.
Oh, Janet's amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like I said, I mean, to get my wife, if I did that today, I'd be arrested. It'd be harassment.
I don't know what that means, but
It'd be harassment. Well, close.
Drugging.
you were you were.
I was consistent.
You were determined.
I was determined.
You were determined. You wore.
I wore it down. I wore her down. I wore her down. I really did. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine, we'll go
Good.
out.
It's just
Fine,
easier
we'll
for me
go-
to say
Fine,
yes.
we'll get married. Fine.
This won't last long.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I never told this story before, but I still the only thing that pisses her off to this day that she didn't know 2 years later. So Dino was my very first date. It took me first of all.
Your very first date.
Yeah, we dated in college for a little bit.
Yeah,
it was
well,
experimental.
So we tell him
time.
now. No. So that night they called Dognut. No, so anyway, I took my wife to lunch. That was the first thing because I told her it's just an hour. So our official first date, I was very excited about because I'm like, I got a first date with her. So I was going to go to the comedy club. Dino was the warm-up act at the time in Columbus, and Jerry Seinfeld was the headliner. And this was just before he was Jerry Seinfeld.
Just before he was.
Just before he was just obviously
he
a
was
good comic.
This is after you graduated. This is 80.
Oh yeah, this is 88, 87.
This is 88.
88. I think it's 88.
I started doing 88 or 89, right around there.
89, yeah, right
around there.
Yeah,
That's when I
before
first
he
started doing
was
stand-up.
before he was Seinfeld. So we go to the club, Janet and I, and so and she's impressed because I know Dino, and he's funny, and so we're watching this.
I wish that worked for me.
It doesn't have the same charm.
So
it used to.
At one point, I go to the bathroom, and Dino grabs me. He says, "Hey," afterwards, just come in and have a beer with me and Seinfeld.
Right,
I'm like, okay, cool. So, literally, right after the show, I bring Janet right back to her apartment, and I head right back to the comedy club to hang out with Gino and Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, you didn't bring her with you?
No, I didn't bring her with me. What a piece!
No,
and so years later, we're talking about something. Dino's there. We're talking about something, and this story comes up, and Janet said, "I'm sorry, what?"
Yeah. You did what?
You did
You
what?
brought her home.
I brought her it was like right, almost like it was a bad date. Right home.
Was she not invited? Or
Oh, no, I didn't-
Well, I didn't.
what?
I didn't say you can't bring Janet.
He didn't say you can't bring
I didn't
Janet.
say
You
that.
just were like, you were just like,
decided.
I want to get
You
out
know,
of
that,
this.
that's, you're young and stupid. I want to hang out with the guys, and laugh.
I'm gonna hang out with Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know who he was. I mean, he didn't.
You knew who he was at the time.
Kind of.
You did. You saw him
right.
on Carson and so
Yeah,
forth.
you're right.
knew.
But it's
He was
before
at
the
Seinfeld,
show. It was
yeah.
before the
But
show.
it was before the show.
Yeah.
He was like a big.
He was a big
headliner.
So I thought it'd be cool
Yeah.
to hang out with him. So
Yeah.
and I was a piece of shit back then,
Yeah, our favorite comics back then were Jerry Seinfeld and Jay Leno.
Jay
Remember,
Leno.
We loved Jay Leno back then.
Yep.
We saw Jay Leno at the Newport. We saw him at the
And in
Ohio
Pittsburgh,
Theater.
that's the other story. Were you not with us?
I was not with you at Pittsburgh. You always put me there, but I was
I
never
always
there.
put him there. And that's another quick story. So we were at a high state in
I appreciate you including me in all the
I
things
do.
that I was never a part of.
Columbus didn't have a comedy club.
This movie is like having like no stories to do with it.
No,
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I imagine you there. So we drove to Pittsburgh one night to see Jay Leno, and so we get there, and the show was 8:00, and they lost our reservation, and so we're like, oh shit, so we're pissed, and so the manager's like looking through this loose leaf notebook, and Leno comes up, and he's like, hey guys, how you doing? How you doing? And we're like, man, we came to see you, and the manager lost our reservation, and he says, come to the late show. I'm funny anyway. They'll put you right up front. I'm funnier then. We're like, okay. So we sit up front, and there's me and Dave, and I can't remember who else with us. Yeah, and Dino, I imagine Dino with us.
Wasn't there.
And so and so the warm up was Dennis Miller. He was the warm up guy.
Yeah, right.
Because he was from Pittsburgh.
Right.
So Dennis Miller was the warm up guy before he was Dennis Miller. And so Leno starts, and he just proceeds to bust on us the whole night. My favorite line, at one point he's in the middle of the joke, he stops, he looks down, he goes, I'm sure the girls will be here any minute.
Yeah, you can just see Leno saying that,
Yeah,
right?
it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, that was a great time.
I'm
Wasn't
sure you
there.
were there.
I wasn't there. I was not there. I was not there.
But anyway, so now.
But
so,
I did
yeah.
drag you along to. I
Yeah,
think you met a couple
Oh
of
yeah,
famous
I met
comedians.
Paul
You
Reiser.
met Paul Reiser when I was working with Paul
Mhm.
Reiser up in Cleveland.
And then in Cleveland,
Yeah.
I came to see you a lot.
Yep. You did, and
I
then
came to you a lot, and I laughed the loudest.
you did laugh.
Your
loudest.
best
And
audience.
I still try things out on you. I still run
Yeah.
premises by him from time to time.
Yep.
Yeah, you're a good audience. You're
Yeah.
a good.
Well, you're funny.
Good judge of fun.
You're a funny
and,
guy.
And he always used to just bitch at me. You need a manager.
You need better
You
management.
need better management. Gus,
you
why
need
aren't
better
you?
management.
You should be this. You should be that. And you know what? In hindsight, he was right. He was right.
Well, remember my other story?
No.
The Tonight Show?
Oh, yeah. What about the Tonight Show?
So I worked, where was I working at the time? I can't remember. One of the ladies I worked with was friends with one of the writers at the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And so I was telling her all about Dino. And she says, well, I don't know if I can do anything, but give me one of his tapes. I'll send it along. You know, I'm like, so I called Dino. I'm like, you got to get me a tape. You got to get me a tape. Blah, blah, blah. Dino's like, I can't. I'm like, what do you mean you can't? He said, well, my manager, you don't understand. Dad, you don't understand. My manager would be pissed, and you wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it.
I believe because I let them. I let them control and pull the
Yeah,
strings.
yep.
Pull the strings.
So, yep. You never know, but anyway.
Yeah, that manager ended
Yes.
up costing me what could have been a bigger career in stand up. I mean, it was fine where it was at, but no. Instead, I chose to come to Sunny 95.
Hey,
Here we are.
Here
Hey,
we are today.
it was a good
45
move. It was a
years
good
later.
move.
It was a good move. No. I have no regrets.
Every decision you guys have made
No
have led you to this
regrets.
moment.
No
right now.
regrets. Right now. Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, if things would have gone that way, it would have been like, "There's a Greg Dettorre on the phone to you." I'm like,
No.
"What? The who?
The who? Dad? I have no idea. I don't know anybody, money.
Dad.
There's a cap and a debt at the door.
What does that mean? I don't even know what that
know.
means.
A cap, a debt, a spee, and a row. a Ron.
Row. Yeah, I'm gonna start going a row. I love this because all my college roommates are scattered across the country. It just makes me feel. It just
Well,
makes
it's
me
weird because, like,
long for the-
and
that
We are
fun
blessed
thing.
in that respect.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is good or bad, but
it is good.
anybody I'm really close to are guys I went to high school with. Still.
I think that's great.
Still to
my
this
buddy,
day.
actually.
My high school buddies, actually the only one that has moved away. They all married sisters. So there's a family that we know who has 4 daughters, and they all married one of
That's
them.
wild.
I know.
That is weird.
And the one who didn't marry him was because he's cousins of one of them. Yeah, but
That's
it's
so
great. So
weird.
out of my buddies in Indianapolis, those are my high school buddies, and then my college buddies are all scattered across.
And
Yeah.
and to that effect, I mean, we sincerely do try. The pandemic screwed things up for a couple years, but we actually do
Oh, yeah.
still get together once a year.
Yeah.
I mean, lately it's been here in Columbus, but we used to take trips to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And to go
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yeah,
Yep.
we actually do get
Yeah.
together for a day and a night. It used to be a whole weekend.
Yeah, now it's just like we'll get together for dinner and stay overnight. So
Stay overnight.
this year it's August, what did I tell you, 13th?
You
Is
told
that a
me to mark
Saturday?
it down. I don't know. I can't make it.
Oh, stop it. It's August 13th. I think that's a Saturday.
I think it
it's-
is.
I think
Yeah,
it's when
yeah.
they're to be
But
in
we
town.
do, and it's this. It's busting balls. It's laughing.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
It's probably a ton more memories than what we've captured here. Sometimes it's the same story. Sometimes it's. And there's always something that comes up that I have no recollection of. It's always like and my favorite one is when we went to college and Ron Parisi's words were like he a word of even though we were all best friends in high school.
You're gonna take my stereo. You're
Yeah.
gonna get my stereo away.
Yeah, Ron, watch out! What did he say?
So Ron said, I got like this new this stereo I was bringing to college, and Ron said, Dad, watch your stereo, because Dino will give it some chick. He'll say, hey, you're beautiful, baby. Take that stereo. Which makes absolutely no sense.
That was Ron's advice.
Yes.
That was Ron's word of caution.
Don't give your stereo away.
Yeah, give the stereo away. Watch out, he goes to give your stereo away. I'm like, why
I still remember that.
me? What?
Hey, you're beautiful.
Turns out he was probably closer to the truth than we realized.
That was like, you're beautiful, babe. Take
You're
that
beautiful,
stereo.
babe. Take
Here,
whatever you
that
want.
Stereo.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever
Oh.
we were in high school, we did continue in college, but I did go my own way in college, and that's
You
why
did.
I think you and Cap are still so very, very close. I mean, you and I are close,
Yeah.
obviously, but you and Cap,
But I will say you were always the risk taker, which was good, because like I think
Yes.
part of me wanted to do comedy, but I was too scared.
Yeah.
I had
risky.
like, you know,
I did.
because you got to
It's
like,
admirable. in it.
yeah, because you've got to like. That's what I slowly learned. Like it's a craft. You've got to like keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And I was like, I gotta work. I need a steady job. So
Yeah.
I think that I was always very envious of that.
And my mother was always envious of you guys because my mother was very upset with the fact when I started.
Oh, I'm
doing
sure.
You know, I mean, for years, according to my mother, I didn't have a real job.
Yeah.
You know, when I was doing stand up, I wasn't a real job. I was an investigator for a while, and even then, she was like, I don't know what I don't want to know about it. I don't know what you're doing. Is that a gun? Oh, why do you have a gun? You know, so forth and so on, et cetera, et cetera. And then comedy. Okay, well, you're going to be where? And okay, and what's that pay? And well, Mom, I'm starting off as an opening app. I'm only going to be making $350 a week. How could you live on $350 a week? And I couldn't live on
Omaha.
in Omaha. You're going where? Yeah. It wasn't a real job until I got on Comic Strip Live.
Right.
You know, when she saw me on television.
And then you're a headliner, and that was all good stuff.
That was those were. You know, talk about having a job that you didn't feel it was a job.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, I was blessed in the
But
fact.
it was though.
It was. It
Yeah,
was.
it's like you got to keep. Yeah.
It was. It was a job. I mean,
Yeah.
you had to put the time and the effort
Yeah.
into it, but it was. But I was fortunate in that it didn't feel like work. You know, for the longest time, and radio for that matter too. I mean, I've been blessed and feel like that I've had jobs that didn't feel like jobs. You know, that it was just
and all my jobs felt like jobs.
felt like jobs. But
you know.
So yeah, I remember your 40th birthday. We had it at my house. Mm-hmm. Then over on 19 East California.
Yep. So that was a good one. Then I remember the 50th at my house.
Yep, at your house.
And then we had the big 60. I had the party down at OSU. Remember Janet threw that for me?
You've had a lot of big birthdays. They did the. Were you at my roast?
Yes, I was at your roast.
At the roast at the Funny Bone. Yeah, you were there.
Yes.
That was. I'll never have anything bigger and better than that.
Yes. My favorite line I came up with you was like, I think Adina was the brother that I never wanted.
Yeah. So I say
funny you say that about me.
I say you're the son I never wanted. I mean, life could have turned out. I mean, the last couple of years have been rough in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but these are the things that stay solid, and these are the things that I appreciate. You know, and that I'm thankful for. Your son, Gino, is brilliant.
Really smart.
You have a brilliant son who's going to do amazing things in the medical
Very
field.
smart.
That's just waiting. Those two roads are just like this right now, and then they're going to cross over, and he's going to do amazing things.
Your godson?
He's my godson. Yeah.
We're just hoping for free health care. Somebody will call, hey, Gino, this hurts.
Yeah. He's a brilliant young
Smart
man.
kid. He's in St. Louis. He's at WashU in St. Louis.
He's at Washington
great
University.
school.
Yeah.
Catholic school, right? Is it Catholic?
No,
What am I thinking
no.
of?
You're maybe, I don't know.
SLU.
Yeah. But anyway, so.
Yeah. Does he tend to you? Does he look at you and say, you know, Dad, maybe you should check this out. Maybe you should do that.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Is
You
he-
know,
is he
it's
talk
like
about your regularity?
He's very concerned. You know, or I'll say something. He'll like rattle off a bunch of things. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So, you know, and he's
But if you go by your dad's side of the family, I mean, you're gonna live a lot. How old's your father now?
my dad's 94.
94.
Yeah, he's 94. His mother, my grandmother, lived to be 105.
Yeah.
And
You're not going anywhere. You're gonna be like one of those old turtles. Yeah, one of those old turtles that just live forever.
I don't know about that. It doesn't
Saying a
feel
bunch
that
of
way.
racist stuff from 1977.
Do you ever think?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that was said back in that actually things that were said back when we were in high
But,
school
I mean, right?
and
Oh,
things that
yeah.
we said in college.
I only said it 'cause
now
my-
we couldn't
Oh,
say
yeah,
it, but
but-
it was like nobody would blink.
And that's why I feel bad. Like, I'm not getting political, but like when they'll bring back somebody. You said this 30 years ago. Well, yeah, we were young and
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah,
It's like you're gonna hold that against me? Come on.
My wife's grandma's 93, and she says stuff that I'm just like, yeah. But that was what they grew up doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
It's not okay.
no, but
I don't want to end it on a morbid note, but I do think I do think about this. I always sometimes think which one of us is going to go first. Do you ever think about that?
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, Whitney says
Smoking,
Whitney
drinking.
Whitney doesn't say a thing all night long.
But he saved the
but
good one.
when he saves up for the big one. Is there a
that was
question who's going to go first?
That was a good one.
Yeah, I think about it from time to time. I mean, logic would dictate that it would be me, the smoking,
Yes,
and the drinking.
logic
But
dictate.
I just had my
Yeah.
blood working like
Yeah.
The
stupid good.
blue zone.
What's
Is that a good zone?
The blue zone. The blue
What's-
zone.
what's that?
The blue zone are certain parts of the world where people have an extended period of longevity.
Oh.
The island that my family is from in Greece is a blue zone.
Oh.
You know the
Oh.
way they live. But
I
I don't
never
live
heard that
I
before.
don't live like they live. You never heard of the blue zone?
No.
Yeah, the way they're.
I heard of the blue ball. hey,
Hey,
but the
that
blue
was-
zone, I'm not quite familiar with that term.
Oh, God damn it.
We should bring back Dognut.
Yeah.
We've toyed with
probably
the
should.
idea.
Yeah, we have.
Of bringing up Dognut. But yeah, blue zones are
Yeah,
my
I've never
family.
heard of that before. Yeah, because I mean,
But I don't
like-
live in one.
like-
I don't live like I'm in
like
the
when
blue
I
zone.
think like Dave, who's crazy, but he does, I don't think he realizes he does it, but does calorie restriction. Like Dave eats breakfast, lunch, and that's it, and then he doesn't eat till so he's doing that calorie restriction, which they say is like adds a longevity.
But he's been doing that
Forever,
for
yeah.
like 20 years.
yeah, he's just
Is
weird
that's
that
good or
way.
bad?
Well, he's thin
No,
as a rail.
I think it's good. Yeah, now when he does, he goes crazy on the weekends. Like he'll just gorge himself almost. Well, that's what he says. But and he nice dinners like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. But then so that he's got that going. Spiro's got to be one of the most disciplined people I ever know. Whenever if you call him if he's not working or he's not on the road at 5:30, he's on the treadmill.
He's working
And
out.
he's very regimented on what he eats and
Mm-hmm.
and he watches it. So I don't know. Yeah, I know. These guys are like
Ron Parisi,
Yeah.
who used to be a smoker and a big drinker,
Yeah.
still drinks, but he doesn't
Yeah.
smoke anymore. And he's
Smoker.
constantly telling me to quit smoking,
Yeah.
quit smoking, quit smoking,
Yep.
quit smoking. Yeah,
And he's somebody that just doesn't have any stress, so that's probably good.
yeah.
So I think me and you were the first to go.
It's a battle.
think about it,
It's
it's a battle.
It's a battle as to who would go first. Because whoever goes first has to say something about the other person.
Oh, I know. And so,
You can't be the roast at the funeral.
No, it will be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it can be.
Oh,
okay.
you can,
Oh.
he's gonna do that. He's gonna come out of retirement. He's gonna do stand up at my
yeah,
funeral.
yeah. I'm gonna get a routine. I'm gonna get.
I would expect it.
Yeah.
I would expect
I'll give you a solid 5 minutes.
Do you want to?
Type 5.
I'll give you a tight
Give me a
5.
tight 5.
Give it
Are you
a
gonna-
tight
Are you
5.
gonna be buried or cremated?
Buried, I think.
Cremated.
Us Catholics don't do the cremation
You
thing.
do. You do.
Some
Sometimes.
do, but
Say if
Oh,
you're
but
cremated, you have to be buried if you're with your ashes. Like, what's the point of doing it then?
No, just
I
you
want
bury
to be
like,
cremated.
I don't want to be cremated.
Oh, why don't you want to be cremated?
I don't want
It's easier.
I want my bones to like come up in
Yeah.
the zombie apocalypse.
Exactly.
I wanna be
Exactly.
cremated.
Now the
See, I don't want to be a bother.
no,
I don't want to be a.
the one thing that I'm starting to put together now, it's like how like when you go to the funeral home, and you're well, assuming you're not cremated, you're lying there.
Oh, you can still go to the funeral home.
Yeah, I want cool music playing. So
Yes.
Fuck yes.
so I've got my I'm starting to put together my
Your dead soundtrack.
yeah, my death soundtrack. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Your mixtape.
Yeah,
it
I
is
mean
morbid.
that's very important to me.
What's it good? What? Give me.
I don't know,
Yeah.
like because I have a very eclectic taste.
do,
It's
you
like
do, yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Right.
Tower of
So there-
Power.
So there would be music and artists that were significant and had meaning in your life.
Yeah, and just like some nice jazz that I like.
Maybe
you
some
know,
Sinatra. Maybe.
yeah, maybe a little bit of that. Just a nice mix of music that I like.
It is morbid, but my mom, one of her jobs before she retired was she helped plan funerals at the church, and that's
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's never too
Yeah.
early. I mean, she's got this whole thing on the computer at home where she goes all the songs she wants. Like she knows it all. She's got already planned it out. So like,
Yeah.
And
you're gonna die eventually. Why not just do it now?
Password,
Yeah.
But when I think about it,
Great
and
favorite song,
I think
one.
about it for that thought doesn't. But it only comes to mind more when one of our classmates,
Yeah.
like Mark
Mark
Yoakum,
Yoakum, yeah.
passed away.
Yeah.
Something was bothering him, and what was it in his
The
back?
back, yeah, and recently my back started hurting, so
Yeah,
it
so
means
you
I'm
start
thinking
to
I'm gonna
freak out.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's closer.
You're not gonna die. You're not gonna die.
Yeah,
You're not-
yeah.
You have something actually wrong with your back. Yeah.
Cancer.
It's not cancer.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
God forbid.
Oh,
God
so sorry.
forbid. No, but no, we do. We start to have those conversations. He and I have had those conversations more recently, where like what's going on, and there's those moments of frank discussion,
Sure.
like they I had an MRI and they found something on my prostate and I'm kind of concerned.
Yeah.
Thank God it was okay. You the same thing. So we start to think about that, and then when somebody like Mark out of the blue, you
Yeah,
find
you're
out.
like, what the hell?
And then you get emails from Ron Parisi, Gus, please stop smoking, yoke 'em smoke, And I get it. I know. And I've said this on the podcast before. I'm afraid to stop smoking now.
No. Well, again,
I am. I'm
Yeah,
afraid
no,
to stop.
I
to try to like make a morbid thing less morbid. I'm 38, and I still see on Facebook there are classmates that I know have passed away.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it's
See,
gonna happen.
that would be so pissed if I died in my 30s.
Yeah,
or 40s.
yeah. Well,
You'd
and,
be
I,
pissed.
and I'm not gonna lie.
I'd be
There's
pissed.
been
You'd be bitter.
been
I'd be
opioid
bitter.
shit,
I'd be haunting some shit.
accidents.
I would come
Yeah.
back. I would come back and haunt some stuff. I would be pissed off. Because anything from here on in, bonus.
I guess,
This house
yeah.
is gonna be so haunted.
Oh.
Bonus. Everything now has been a gift and a bonus, and I thank you God. And isn't that the longer you live, the longer you want to live, right?
I guess so.
Yes.
Although there are days. There are days.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no, it's just. But you want to feel good. That's the thing,
Yes.
That's the rub. as they say.
There it is. That is.
But,
And like before we started the podcast, say, you look really tired. You look really.
Yeah, you did. Now you look fine.
Now look, I'm on. See,
You just right out of it.
It's not so much the podcast. It's, I swear to God, it's the company. It's
Yeah.
people. Yeah, the people that get that as they get older and get more isolated, I
Yeah.
think they're doing themselves a huge disservice. So that's why I love doing this podcast. That's why I hang out with my Hollywood friends and stay creative and continue to work on things because it keeps me young.
And I'm horrible because I do that because a couple weeks ago when I threw my back out and I couldn't move, so I listened to Dino's podcast and they were talking about movies, and so I called him, and I'm like, you never asked me what movies I like. I'm your supposed your best friend, and you didn't, never asked me, what works I like.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, we got to start wrapping. Anything else that you wanted that was on your mind? Because this is what I love about him. I can't wait to have you on the podcast. And he calls me yesterday. I was down at the Italian club watching the basketball game, and he's like, "Okay, tomorrow on the podcast." He goes, just make a note to do this. And I'm like, anything else that you want to tell me to do on my podcast? Was there any other spontaneity you want to completely ruin before we start doing this thing? Because you still have a show business mind.
I do.
You do. You still have a show business
And
mind.
and
you know funny.
And I know funny.
You do know
I
funny.
know funny.
You know funny.
I know funny.
I swear to God,
I know funny.
He and I probably laugh
Yes.
longer and harder over the stupidest shit that nobody else would seem funny.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been a conversation we've had on the phone where one of us wasn't
And-
laughing.
And that's a sad thing to end on. It's like when I think of I know what you think about like how you want your daughter to think of you, or
Right.
or how you want your kid to think of you. And I know this is weird, but like people say like I want my I have a son, right? I want him to love me. I want him to respect me and all that. It's really important if my son thinks I'm funny.
Right.
I don't know why. I want him to think I'm funny, and I think
Does
he
he?
does.
It's
Yes.
like a common
He does think
denominator.
Yes,
We all
he
can get
does.
He does think you're funny.
He does think I'm funny.
And he thinks that we together
Yes.
are funny,
Yes.
but odd.
Yes.
He does. Yeah, he
Well,
does.
stupid,
Yeah,
but,
he shakes his head sometimes.
Because he's smart.
Yeah, he's so smart
Come
and
on.
intelligent.
Him and his Ivy League friends.
Ooh, he's a doctor.
And that's a wrap.
Hansberry, you didn't get a chance to do the business in the beginning. You might as well do it at the end.
Whiskey Business Podcast is your favorite podcast with whiskey, not so much about whiskey. Thank you for subscribing on your favorite podcasting app. Just go ahead and whatever you're on, Spotify, Apple, whatever you're following on right now, just make sure you
Whatever
subscribe.
social media you want to be
Social media.
Whatever the social
Just subscribe, please. And
Back in my day, we would call people and tell them to listen.
Well-
we would pick up the
well,
landline
and that's a
with
good
the big
point.
long extension cord, and we would dial those 7 numbers on a rotary dial telephone, and then get pissed off because we fucked up the 4th one, and then start all over.
But you're not wrong. Grassroots effort helps. So when you're listening to this on your digital smartphone, that these two probably don't ever have, or don't even, or forget their passwords to.
He gave me my first cell phone when he worked for Sprint. He got me. He got
your number.
Yeah, he gave me my 2 numbers. He made sure that my last 4 digits were the same on my landline and my cell phone. Yeah, I knew somebody.
Connections.
It was a flip phone. First one was a flip phone with an antenna. Yeah, with an antenna.
All right. Well, the point is tell your friends.
This show's
to
not
listen to
ending.
this show.
Go ahead, Andrew. Finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
We're all right. We got plenty of time. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Whiskey Business with Dino Tripodis. This has been a lot of fun to watch you guys. Watch it on YouTube. And smash that like button.
Smash that button. And I want to thank the Evergreen Podcast Network for allowing us to have a home out there in the podcast world. Evergreenpodcast.com, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Evergreen Podcasts.
Podcasts.
But yeah. What a lot of fun. Like, well, and like kind of, not to belabor the whole thing, it was like, everything you guys said is like I could either relate to like when I was a kid in high school or college, or like my dad's story. So this is just a fun, relatable engagement. It's fun to thank you for letting me eavesdrop on your nonsense.
And it is nonsense.
It is
Yes.
nonsense. And
Nobody is stupid like us.
May the nonsense continue. Our guest bottle, the Seagrams VO, Seagrams' very own Canadian
I gotta say
whiskey.
that was probably the worst one we've
Probably
ever
right.
had.
Right? It's probably,
I take
Yeah.
that as a compliment.
No.
I don't know. I
It's
think it might have
disgusting.
actually been better without the Fresca.
Either
to be honest
way,
with you.
I tried it both, and if
Neither one of
You
them.
know,
you're in a
worked out.
pinch, there, it's
Yeah,
there.
it's
But
there.
I wouldn't go for it first.
I wanted something. I wanted something high schoolish
And
for
that's
my
it.
buddy Det.
Yeah,
so,
if you were in high school, you wouldn't know the difference.
yeah. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Boy, just but I do pine for just one weekend where I could get like high school debt back, like hard drinking, smoking.
I
debt.
don't know if I could do that.
No,
for
you
a
could
weekend.
because you would die.
I would die.
You would die.
I would
You
die.
would die. Then you'd
I
be
would
first,
die.
and then.
Well,
I'd
the
have
problem
to-
is, I got so used to not drink that when I drink now, I get like an instant headache. I know.
Pussy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll cut
No,
that
I
out.
don't.
Dino
You
called me that
can't.
out
You can't
today.
offend me.
Okay, John Osbeck just walked in the door. You just got
cut
here.
out of the podcast.
You missed it all.
I heard the big laugh at the end.
You heard the big laugh at the end. You missed it all. It's another one of my Hollywood friends.
Oh dear God! I better go.
You're starting to get outnumbered
Yeah,
by,
I know.
by people who are way more creative than you.
Hey, but I know funny.
You know funny.
I know funny.
You know funny.
Here, sit on the
That's
couch.
all
We're
I
gonna
care
do our
about.
routine for you.
You want to watch us work? Okay. All right. Are we done? we should be. We should
We're
be.
done.
All right, folks. My name is Dino Tripodis. John Whitney on the video side. Sorry, James. Do it again. Let me officially thank, because I can't do it without these guys. John Whitney on the video side, as he affectionately referred to the son I never wanted. Greg Hansberry on the audio side, and our guest, one of a kind. Truly,
There
one
you
of a
go.
kind. One of a kind. There's nobody
Det.
better. Debt.
Det.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to our reunion, right? That's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's our plan. We're gonna try to make that'll be good. It'll be good.
Can we just promise to do like a recap? We don't need to do a whole episode, but maybe just touch base after you guys do it.
After do the reunion?
Oh,
yeah,
that
yeah,
could be it.
yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
kind of like a
Good. I don't have to wait another 5 years. That'd be awesome.
behind the bottle. Yeah.
Reunion edition.
The reunion edition. So until, as we always sign off,
Sperry. What's her name? What's her name?
Robin Sperry.
Robin Sperry.
Robin.
You know, Rick Andreesen
Hey, Robin,
sees
you
her
got
all
a
the time.
daughter?
and talks
Really?
to her, so he's going to tell her, and she's
Oh,
going to watch
well,
this.
She should be flattered.
She should be flattered.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think she's got a daughter.
Oh.
She has children. She has children.
I'm sure
Of
she
course
does.
Yeah. You're married.
Oh, I forgot.
It was
Sorry.
kids.
You
Sorry,
sick
Robin.
bastard.
I forgot. Just only that one moment.
So yeah, that'll be it. I hope she takes it as a compliment. She's like, she'll watch it and go, ew.
I'm not.
I should have never invited him in high school.
I can't believe he was in my house every week.
He thinks I'd like
for
that?
2 hours, over 2 hours every week.
He thinks that was a come on.
He was going to make a move. Oh, my God.
He was the only guy my mom would let come over. I knew there was no
Maybe
chance.
that's it. Maybe that's it.
Because we found him so non-threatening.
That's the only boy. Because her father was like he's kind of a badass. Dick Sperry was, he liked me, and he probably liked me because
you're harmless.
He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna try to make a move with my daughter. Dick Sperry. Richard Sperry. Yeah. He probably sat there in the other room going, "My daughter is so out of his league. No worries.
No way.
None whatsoever."
She'll never go with that loser.
45th class reunion. Here we come. Until the next bottle. See ya.